Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jordan Green, and this is On Track, a weekly look at the biggest news in railroading. Now, as the pandemic recedes, people are coming out of hiding and getting back into one of the best hobbies around, model trains. Look no further than the latest Oklahoma train show in Stillwater. Today, we're talking about how the show went and what the future of the hobby is. So on February 19th, I attended a train show at the Payne County Expo Center in Stillwater, joined by several friends and countless other model railroad enthusiasts. And by countless, I mean countless. Hundreds of people filed in and out of the building that day, carrying boxes and bags of train cars, layout components, locomotives, and railroad memorabilia. It's the annual winter show in Stillwater, and longtime attendees remarked anecdotally that it was the largest show they'd seen there in years. Vendors returned in droves following the pandemic-induced cancellation of events like train shows, and enthusiasts appeared satisfied as they browsed the building in search of model trains they probably didn't need but wanted to buy anyway, just like yours truly. The Stillwater show is somewhat of a bellwether for other shows across the Midwest. As spring dawns, other shows are on the way, and earlier shows in the year tend to be an indicator of how attendance will be. That's good news for both hobbyists and vendors, all of whom would like to see this hobby pick up from its pandemic declines. As lockdowns were imposed, model train shops shut down and shows were canceled, but now they seem to be coming back. And maybe they never left. A 2021 BBC article titled "Adults Turning to Toys in Lockdown Drives Model Railroad Sales" reported that model train sales were up, mostly online, because people wanted something to occupy their time during the pandemic. They also wanted to have something to distract them from the pains of the world. In the article, the CEO of model train maker Hornby, Lyndon Davies, said, "When there's problems in the world, people do turn inwards. They do look for things of comfort, and in a hobby, they find comfort. We gained a lot of new customers, and our existing customers spent more on the hobbies they enjoy." He couldn't be more right. I know I certainly did this too. I was one who, during the pandemic, went out and bought more locomotives and model train cars than I needed, but I enjoyed every bit of them. I was one of the last customers at the Enid model train shop and hobby shop before it shut down, really in the early months of the pandemic, and I was quite glad that I went when I did. I got some great finds, including a farm rail locomotive that I had wanted for a long time for a really good price, and I'm enjoying those locomotives and purchases today. Along with the increased investment in the hobby from existing enthusiasts, the hobby as a whole seems to be growing. A September story in the Toronto Star newspaper in Canada, titled "Model Railroading Was an Underground Hobby for Years, Collectors Explain Why It's Been Picking Up Steam," written by Tracy Tong, reported that the hobby actually grew as a result of the pandemic. Because not only did current modelers do more investment than ever before, but more people found joy in the activity. Jason Schrawn, who operates Rapido Trains, said in the story, "Serious modelers who had been collecting for years but never had time to build a model railroad now had that time, and sales of scenic supplies, buildings, track, and other related items exploded." Now, any real hobbyist will tell you that it's easy to go out and buy trains and run them on existing track, but building layouts and making them look good for you to run trains on is probably the hardest and most time-consuming part. Personally, I'm not a layout builder. That's why I'm a member of a model railroad club in Ponca City, and I visit other clubs whenever I'm out of town to go have my fun there. It's a whole lot easier to take care with a group of people of a common layout rather than operating and building your own, because I do not have the technical skills to do that as much as I wish I did. Maybe someday, not today. I'm just having fun enjoying my trains with other people. So with all of this news, it's pretty exciting to see just what the future of model railroading may be. From shows like Stillwater having booming attendance to growing numbers of hobbyists and investments amid the pandemic, I've got hope that before long I'll be joined by a number of other young people in this awesome hobby. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of On Track. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube at NWTV7 and on Twitch. I'm Jordan Green, and let's get back on the rails. I'll see you on down the line.